super legends, superheroes and superstars. My name's Dr. Dre, but yes, without the doctor. You're tuned into Hot Hire, which is the number one place. That's right, I said number one place if you're looking to get into your ideal job in the shortest time possible. So today, absolutely pumped. I've got a special guest. So I first met this woman, or we connected on a presentation that she was delivering for Jobs for Australia, which is just a great organisation. And this woman has over 10 years recruitment and HR experience. And I think to myself, how can that be? Because she must have started when she was like 10 years old. So she's a beautiful soul inside and out. And I just want to say a massive, huge welcome to Vanessa Tiapo. How are you, Vanessa?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. And you nailed the surname, so well done.
Yes!
Nothing to worry about.
Sweet, I was panicking. Right, so you've been going through, a bit of I guess, because you're based in Melbourne, so
Yes.
with all like COVID and everything, and what's happening now? Have you come out of that?
Yeah, so we're finally out of lockdown. So things are going really well here in terms of the COVID cases. I think today was our 11th day of no new cases, which is amazing considering when the lockdown all started, it was like 700 plus cases, but we are all still working remotely, of course. I'm very used to it now. It feels crazy how long it's been. But yeah, hopefully next year, looking a little bit more positive.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Right, Vanessa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So as you mentioned, I've got about 10 years of recruitment and HR experience. So I won't tell you how old I was when I started because everyone will know my age, but I wasn't 10 years old.
You sure?
Yeah. So I started in an IT recruitment agency, then moved to Telstra. I was there for about 5 years, various recruitment roles, did some projects as well. Most of that was, again, in the technology space. After that, I went to a digital and IT consulting organisation and did a hybrid HR and TA role. So I did a lot of like HR projects, business improvement, system implementation, and I was made redundant from that role in June, which really made me sort of think about what I wanted to do next in my career. I have always done quite a bit of coaching work and mentoring, but decided to take that sort of up a level and joined Jobs for Australia, which has been absolutely amazing just to keep me busy, broaden my TA network and really give that sort of purpose during this time, especially given the fact that I could also relate to the job seekers and what they were going through, trying to navigate applying for jobs, networking, etc. I've actually started studying a diploma of professional coaching as well. So
awesome.
So that's something that I'm trying to keep going with now that I've started full-time work. So it's a bit of a juggle, but that's what weekends are for at the moment, I guess. And in between, I had a contract talent acquisition role, which I found same as Jobs for Australia through my networks. And now I've just recently started a permanent role in another IT consultancy called Avanade. So they're huge. So global, owned by Accenture. I'm working with a couple of really fantastic ex-colleagues. So yeah, it just goes to show that, working through your networks and having that sort of specialty really pays off in the end.
Well, congratulations. And you studied at uni, you studied HR as well, is that right?
Yes, I do also have a HR degree, correct.
All right, so I feel like you've got HR and recruitment like in your blood.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's been a long time, but no, I really enjoy it.
Excellent. Right, Vanessa, do you have any valuable tips that you can share with the audience?
Yeah.
Hey, Super Legends, so sorry to interrupt the show. If you do like what you're seeing, please don't forget to like, comment and share. Thank you.
I guess, job seeking at the moment, it feels completely different to what I've ever experienced in the past. I think with COVID, things have been a lot slower. Obviously, people are a little bit concerned that potentially, in some areas there might be less positions available. But what I've noticed is there's a lot more emphasis on networking. So networking is something that I've always struggled with. I've never really felt like, well, why would this person want to talk to me? And what do I even say to them? They don't know me. So I have had a lot of my own coaching to help overcome that, and obviously had to put myself out there a little bit more to build those connections and reach out to people on LinkedIn. So I would say, reach out to people that you know. I actually had a great support crew of other friends who were also looking for work. And we were able to really exchange sort of tips, show each other bits of information that we might have found online, or just talk about our experiences. Because when you're going through job search, whether you're employed or unemployed or COVID or no COVID, it can be quite stressful and it can be quite disheartening at times when you feel like you're putting in so much effort but not getting as many of those results. So I would really say to just be clear on having that clear job search strategy, not just relying on what you see posted on LinkedIn or Seek or places like that, but have a good think about what are your strengths, what sort of industries have you worked in the past, what are you really passionate about? And that will be a good sort of foundation for those conversations. So when you're networking, you know who you are and what you want. You can be clear about that. When you're targeting certain organisations, you also know why you want to work for those organisations. And from there, I feel like everything flows, because it'll become so much easier to tailor your CV, to tailor your resume, and to sell yourself in those interviews or those conversations that you're having. So the Jobs for Australia community, really fantastic. And I know that there's other sort of communities like that, or ways to find that support if you don't have it already. Because there's just so much information out there, and people are really, really willing to help. I think because we are sort of spending more time at home, and for Victorians in particular, it has been a sort of long lockdown. It's a lot easier to connect with people when you don't have to factor in travel time, and your days are a little bit quieter. You don't have all those normal things that you would usually do. So my number one tip is just reach out to people and go for it and see what happens.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one. What was I going to say to you? So I know that you're doing your coaching. Is there anything else that you're up to? Any sort of like projects or programs or?
Yeah, so from a work perspective, obviously things are pretty busy, but are still sort of getting up to speed there. I would say, in terms of the Jobs for Australia, there's a lot going on there, which I'm still very much involved in. So if you wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn, I like to sort of, share posts or comment on things to sort of share that information around. I'm also really keen to eventually start doing a little bit of my own coaching as well. Something that I guess once the dust sort of settles with everything that's going on at the moment, and I've got a bit more time to focus on the next thing, in conjunction with my studies, I would love to sort of start coaching people a little bit more. And what I'm really passionate about is not just sort of helping people find the perfect job, but sort of taking that to the next level and sort of thinking about, okay, what's going to light me up? What do I enjoy doing? What's playing to my strengths? I think we've all sort of experienced when we've been in a job that we don't like, or we've felt that even if we do like the job, we're not challenged enough. Perhaps there's no room for growth. It could be anything, and that really impacts on sort of our personal life or our well-being. So finding that fit can also be part of the challenge when we're looking at what's that next opportunity, and is that opportunity going to be right for me? So I'd love to sort of eventually work that into my coaching as well from a lifestyle perspective.
I love that. All right, Vanessa, I just want to say thank you. You've given us so much gold. All right, so it's about that time. We're going to wrap up. Do you have a bad joke for us to finish on?
I do. It's a bit of a silly one, but here we go.
I love silly. Silly.
How do you get a squirrel to like you?
How do you get a squirrel to like you? I don't know.
You have to act like a nut.
Oh.
And I feel like a bit of a nut saying that, but anyway.
That's so funny. I've never heard that one. It's like, Vanessa, I just want to...
What do you think about it?
So yeah. I know. I just want to say, yeah, massive thank you, like once again. You've been an absolute superstar. I know that you're very busy, so really appreciate your time, all the tips you've given us, plus the.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Yeah, thank you. That was awesome.